basically the way most games are shot, and the way we did Heavy Rain, for example, was based on the idea that you shoot with one actor at a time in a sound booth, and you capture the facial animation and the voice of an actor in a sound booth. And then once you're done with that, you go on the mocap stage, play the audio that you just recorded, and have the body gestures kind of in sync with the audio. That's one way of doing it. Other people doing it slightly differently. Some people just do dubbing, so they just shoot something and they overdub the audio. But in general, the idea is always the same. We rarely capture everything at the same time, which means that we lose a lot of the performance just because we have different takes that we need to recompose to recreate the entire performance. Performance capture is based on the idea that you capture the facial animation, the audio, and the body of the actor at the same time, which means that suddenly you get body language in sync with the audio, which was something impossible before. So all this started in CG movies, and they started with Lord of the Rings, they started with different Polar Express, and more recently they did Avatar, of course, using this technology, and Tintin, and now pretty much everything is shot and performance captured in movies. So we just wanted to find a way to adapt this technology to the needs of games, because we thought it would allow us to make a big step forward in matter of acting, and to have actors really delivering a very emotional performance in a very precise way. But the problem we had with what Hollywood was doing was, if you look at the making of Avatar, they have helmets, actors have an helmet with a camera in front, with a light. And the problem is that this is quite intrusive for actors. I mean, having a camera and a light in front of you all the time as you move around is something quite disturbing. And at the same time, you can say goodbye to all the kiss scenes, because then you will collide with the cameras. Each time characters become really close, I mean, it's impossible to shoot. And also they have a very specific approach to this, which was that they shot with video signal. They filmed the face, then they give the movie to an animator, and the animator was in charge of animating the face based on the movie that they shot. So that's a lot of work. You need very talented artists to do it at this level of quality that you can see in Avatar, and at the same time, it's really time-consuming. Given the volumes we had to deal with in matter of data on Heavy Rain, on Beyond, we're talking about hours and hours of performance capture. This option was not possible for us because it would take too much time and cost too much money. And at the same time, we were not big fans of this very intrusive helmet that actors had in front of them. We really wanted to free the actors so they could just think about acting and about nothing else. So we needed to come up with our own solutions and see how we could deal with this production and creative constraints at the same time, and make something that would be a very high quality, but at the same time would be manageable on a production point of view. So let's see some video stuff. So this is exclusive material. It's presented in public for the first time.
Make it fake. Then we take the fake world we built based off the real world and rebuild it for mocap. So we take real things, make them fake. Take the fake versions of real things and make them real again.
Every second of movement you see and beyond is motion capture, ranging from simple in-game motions, walking, turning, all the way to stunts, fights, four-person fights on train roofs, to performance capture, to full facial and body capture at the same time.
Go in, damn it.
The games we make at Quantic Dream are based in reality. We rely heavily on motion capture because we have to populate this world with characters. Children playing in a playground, people walking, getting on a train. Everything that actually happens in real life has to happen in our game, and the only way we can really capture that, the only practical way to get that, is to capture the real thing. We have to rebuild the world out of cardboard and tape and foam. We have to make sure it matches what's in the game, And we have to make sure that we can actually capture with it, because there are limitations to motion capture. It's optical, so you can't have someone go into a blanket or into a box, capture anything. So we have to take all of that into consideration. A car door has weight. We can't use a car door in motion capture because it's shiny and it's really heavy, and we can't see through it. So we have to build the approximate car door, but it has to at least have some of the real properties of a car door. Because just closing a cardboard car door doesn't play the same as a real car door.
Someone's always decided for me. This time I make my own choices.
Performance capture is really, it's digital acting. The trickiest part of performance capture is the preparation. It's getting people ready to perform. Depending on how many actors you have, it takes a while to put the 90 plus markers on the face. They'll have to be placed specifically for them to work right on the rig. So you have someone sit in a chair, and it's almost like they can meditate or do whatever, close their eyes, and just carefully place 100 markers on their face. It takes much longer than putting the markers on the body. And after all of that, you're shooting. And in the process of shooting, for every single shot, we have to make sure we got a reasonable amount of data. It's the equivalent of checking the gate. The game itself really requires emotion and subtlety, and I think there's no other way to capture all that than the way we're doing it. They rely on each other. We couldn't get this performance without performance capture, and it wouldn't be worth getting unless it was from these people. So it's a really great mix of technology and talent.